Welcome back to Restore Thrive. Yvonne here with Dr. Tim, and we are going over hip hinging. So if you've had any difficulty with your deadlift or your squat, maintaining a nice stable spine, you can just grab a broomstick or any stick you have at home, and this will allow you to get some feedback as to whether or not you're maintaining your form. So what I'm going to have Dr. Tim do here is he's going to turn sideways here, and we're going to let him set up in his nice dead bug spine where he's got his feet set in parallel. And you'll see if we just take this broomstick and place it along his spine, you'll see contact points at his sacrum, right between the shoulder blades and the thoracic spine, and it's hitting the back of his head. So he's got that perfect spinal alignment. So I'm going to ask Dr. Tim to just go forward into a hip hinge, and yeah, you can hold that at your back. And so he's just going to hold that, and you'll notice that he's maintaining all three contact points. There's just still a little bit of space at his lumbar spine, so he's not flattening out his back, but he's allowing a little space there, and then go ahead and come back up. So when you're doing this at home, you really want to focus on the fact that you're hinging only through your hips. And Dr. Tim, I'm going to have you take that left hand, and can you grasp the bar right here at your lumbar spine? So now with his hand there, he can kind of gauge the space that's there at his lumbar spine. If it's getting deeper, then he knows he may be arching more. And if it's flattening into his hand, he may be excessively flattening his spine. But he's getting a nice hinge, so this is a really easy way to get feedback at home if you're doing this correctly. And then if you happen to be someone who sits and has to flex, if you're a kayaker, you're in a canoe, or you're on the floor just playing with your kids and you want to maintain good lumbar position, I'm going to have him sit. And the same is true. Dr. Tim can get himself in that nice upright position, place that on his spine, and we can see if he's got that good hamstring mobility to hinge forward at the hips without sacrificing his low back. We're a little tight this morning, aren't we? I'm going to have Dr. Tim bend his knees just a little bit to put a little slack in his system so those hamstrings are tight, and you'll see he'll be able to hinge and recognize where he may be compromising at the spine. So grab a broomstick at home and see how you do with both of these movements. That will give you some information as to whether or not you need to address hamstring tightness, stiffness in your hips, and it's a great starting point for improving your deadlifts, your squats, and any of your movements at home. Drop us a comment below or visit us at restorethrive.com.